Hey,
Hello, everyone. So, this is something like the eighth episode we have already. My God, time flies. And we are here this week still with our amazing Pandu, Decentricity,
hello.
and with a newcomer, which is Adam, because, well, Alex has COVID and we needed to find a replacement in emergency. So, the first person we saw was Adam. No, that's not true.
That's
It's
not true.
actually planned. He's the CEO of Realitychain. He's a longtime game developer, a longtime gamer. He's cool. He's cool. He's definitely cool. That's why we invited him.
Thank you.
So
Thank you
without
for
further
inviting
ado,
me.
yeah, I'm gonna talk over you for the whole podcast, so you won't get to speak. I'm not even sorry about that. Without further ado, we start.
All right. So guys, I guess let's start with introductions. Let's have Adam introduce himself in his own words. Adam, would you like to introduce yourself? Go ahead.
In your own words.
All right. So thank you for having me. My name is Adam. I'm the CEO of Realitychain. Um, Actually, my background is more in the gaming side. I'm a game developer. I've been making games since I think 2010, 2011. Back then, I started making game for mobile games for Nokia. I'm not sure you used one back then. I'm sure uh, each of us already used that before the smartphone era. Everyone used Nokia, and we create game for Nokia. It's kind of hard back then. Without game engine, without everything, we need to write everything in native. So yeah. So 10 years in game development, and I think I just started to come in the blockchain industry like a year last year around April or March. And between a year, I've been learning a lot and seeing a lot of potential in the technology. And there's going to be a lot of cool stuff that we can build. So right now we are building a reality chain, Metaverse as a service, to help communities, projects, users that wants to have a metaverse easily and the most decentralized way. I think that's a quick introduction about myself.
All right.
That's pretty cool. I'm super impressed about the Nokia stuff. I just want to hear just a little bit more about those early mobile games. So what did you do? Did you develop for like the Nokia bricks, like the what was it, the N32? Was it
Uh,
that indestructible?
Um, in I think in 2010, the OS is Symbian. Have you heard like Symbian?
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah,
It's like
yeah.
the smartphone for Nokia. They have two operating system, right? One is Symbian, one is the J2MA. The Symbian is based on C++ and J2MA based on Java.
Mm. I had actually N95 at some point.
I had a Nokia Engage, Danny. I'm more gamer than
Engage.
you.
Oh yeah, yeah, you had an Engage. Yeah, my wife also had an Engage.
I had the small Engage, the smaller one. And
Yeah,
my favorite game was The Sims, but stepping out.
yeah, and
First.
that phone played Tomb Raider. It played Tony Hawk. It
Yeah.
played. It was actually a pretty amazing phone for its time.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep,
Like
absolutely.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Mm.
So, is there anything anyone want to share? Something that have been imported to Myriad that we want to talk about?
Sure. I guess I'll start like just a bit about like some of the stuff that's been happening around like this podcast is usually sort of like a crypto culture podcast, but well, it's not just crypto culture today since we do also have Adam. Um I'd like to keep this thematic by even though I'm not a gamer, but I'm a metaverser. I've been a metaverse user for too long. So all of the metaverse dramas and stuff, I'm very interested in. So this is actually something that's being like sort of like it's not quite viral yet. But like Burkok is one of the like cryptovoxels whales, so to speak. Like he has a lot of parcels, and you guys know cryptovoxels. That's
Mm.
one of the biggest OG Ethereum metaverses. Like before everything went to metaverse, they were already there. They started really like a long time ago, like long time ago for Ethereum. And one fact, they actually started by selling a token called Color. So their token
Color.
was Color. You know what they decided to remove that, so the token Color is now defunct. But do you guys know what those tokens were for?
Underwear? It's an
Oh,
English Indonesian joke. Color
no one's
means
gonna get that, Danny. No one's gonna get
no
that.
one's gonna get that.
Okay, don't even search for it, guys. Like if you don't speak Indonesian, it's fine. Color was a token that you can use to add color to your world, to your parcel. So if you have a Crypto Voxels parcel, it's white. Like every single block is white, 100% white. The only way you can basically get like color is if you have the token called Color.
Okay.
Everyone hated that. The Fallout meme. Everyone hated that.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, and it turns out like Crypto Voxels just basically didn't use it anymore, which I think is a good choice. And this was a long time ago. So they allowed importing. They allowed people to import images, pictures, and of course recolor the blocks. So anyway, Chris Voxels is I love them. I love the community. I love Ben Nolan. He's been a recurring character and like crypto Twitter, like more towards the metaverse and NFT parts. But there's been questions, and Brookhawk actually voices some of the questions. And this is not viral. I just know Brookhawk, and I've like even from the older days, there has been questions. I mean, you probably know that Crypto Voxels actually has a lot of volume. So if you go to like just to demonstrate, I actually haven't done this, but like just to demonstrate, right? Let's go to Crypto. Oh, by the way, sorry for the Vitalik profile that I'm using. I'm actually Vitalik. I actually am.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, so add me, guys. Crypto Voxels, right? And the way they make money is, of course, by the primary sales of land. And like as you can see, like current floor price is 0.7. Oh god, it's low now. It used to be a lot higher than that. But it's always hovered around that like floor price, right? And the total volumes, that's 25,000 Ethereum. It's not, they're no slouches. Like they're big. They're big. Probably gonna buy later because it's cheaper today. But yeah, point is there's a lot of money. There's a lot of liquidity, right? And you have to say that there's actually a lot of things that's happening in like the crypto voxel space. Like I mean, they've done a lot of things with their website, a lot of updates as well. It's just, a lot of people are asking questions. Is it still focused? Is it stuff like that? There's and the questions are actually voiced. Like I don't agree with 100% with the questions, but I do believe that these are questions that should be asked just to be diplomatic. There's a bull run. Where's the dollars? Why is crypto voxels basically not focused? Like they actually now have 3 projects.
Okay.
One project is a semi-social media. I guess it's a chat app. The other project is hardware for the Oculus Quest 2. So an attachment of like, so it's let me show you.
I want to see that.
Yeah, it's actually cool. That's actually cool. I mean, but like, does it see? So it's a pass-through camera.
I see.
Ships to Indonesia if you guys want to buy it. Pass-through camera for the Oculus Quest 2. You link it, it connects, and you can just it becomes an AR device. Right?
Okay, why not? And you get to look like Wally.
Wally.
Bad.
Yeah, you should. Yeah, you guys should buy one. Like, it's cool. It's cool. But yeah, the question being like, what about what's happening? What's the business model of this? What will crypto voxels have? I mean, in terms of utility, right? Like there is a merchant utility, like people are making money just from their land.
Mhm.
But what about like the other utility that like the other metaverses have? Like I don't know, like uh they recently implemented, for example, token gating. So if you want to enter a parcel, you need to token gate. Like like, let me show you with one of my. Oh, I'm not logged in, so I can't show you with one of my parcel. But like if you have a parcel, you can token gate. You can say that okay, if you have this NFT, then you can come in. But the thing is, it is 100% whitelisted for the NFT tickets itself, so they're not issued from CryptoVoxel. So basically, I can use any NFT. So even if I sell tickets, CryptoVoxels doesn't get royalties, right? So that's sort of like the issue with a lot of these projects. They're fun, they're cool, they have splendid communities, but sort of like the value doesn't flow back to the people who invested. And I'm not blaming CryptoVoxels. It is difficult, and I love them, even though the Brookhawk was asking why did they buy a Lambo, and
Yeah.
I'm sure they have, I'm sure they wanted to do something with it. Like
This is
it was a really cheap crash Lamborghini. It's only 10 parcels. So yeah. Anyway,
yeah.
Do they have
That,
any roadmap? Like, what's their plan in the future? What they want to build next?
no. If there are, I'm not aware. I am not aware at all. They here's the thing. Like now, I guess you entered the crypto space like last year, right? And now you can't really raise without a roadmap. Like you can't really raise it without an actual product. Crypto voxels came from like the previous wave. Like they were in the bear market and building, and Ethereum was low, and everyone was buying parcels for cheap, like hundreds of dollars, $80 at one point, and $20 at one point even. Like the parcels used to be super cheap. And like it was just something fun. Like okay, you're logging in with Ethereum, and okay, this is cool. I have land. I have actual land. I can build here, and it's safe. Oh, and yeah, no one's asking about. No one's really asking about the roadmap. There was actually some tokenomics based on the color token, but since color got dismantled, like the mechanism itself got dismantled, even the tokens, even though the tokens still exist, don't really have value, right? So they also had a plan a couple of months ago, and this was like actually end of last year, to airdrop tokens to parcel owners. I don't think they have done that. I'm a parcel owner, haven't gotten any. So they actually airdrop another token, which is actually the social media token thing, like the other one, like so sometimes like so we're not in the well, we are, some of my projects are in the Ethereum ecosystem, but like Realitychain in particular and Myriad in particular, we're in the near ecosystem, right? And I see a lot of that in the current near ecosystem. A lot of people are playing around, like, oh, this is cool, let's do it. This is cool, let's do it. But we are at the point where people are already jaded. A lot of the investors are actually, like, a lot of us are actually jaded and thinking of like, we want something real. We want something new and real.
Yeah.
Which is why for Realitychain, of course, we're building in a way that is product first. We show the product first, and then we show the timelines first. But since the culture is still sort of like playing around, there's a lot of other solutions. I won't name them, that are like, that have a distinct lack of timelines, which is not good. Now, CryptoVoxels managed to do it and managed to raise so much because they're OG. No one else was doing metaverse. No one else was doing the metaverse on crypto. Like
At that time.
at that time. And not even Sandbox, Somnium Space, not even those guys. Like the first, I guess Somnium Space actually technically they are around the same generation, but they haven't delivered their engine. Yeah. Anyway, that's the metaverse, and honestly, I think I think going back to like taking a few steps back, there's a distinction, of course, between the metaverse and games. So although I'm opening with the metaverse, we might discuss more on the gamification part and games in particular
Mm.
in relation to NFTs. You don't have to. This is not a metaverse podcast. We've already done sort of a metaverse before,
Yeah,
right?
last time.
Yeah.
I
So
think
yeah.
it's interesting what you're saying because it's not. I'm not gonna say it's a cautionary tale because nothing has gone tits up. But if you want to get into the Web3 industry right now, you really need to study like the financial mechanism that go behind the projects
Mm,
because there is so many very fun things to do in this space, but never forget that the way you acquire funds and the way you keep your project running is very different from traditional projects, traditional products,
yeah.
and especially if you want to keep it really decentralized, so you have very little VC funds or no VC funds at all. Everything is community based. You need to go with ideas that will carry this wheel to from the community to actually fund your stuff, and you need to keep on carrying this. And that's actually a good segue into the game part because something I said in the last episode is like I see a lot of pay to earn, and I see a lot of NFTs that you can buy to enhance your character or something like that. Something that I think is not the way to go. And not only that, but there is a smaller, much smaller communities of NFT gamers, right, or blockchain gamers than there is of traditional gamers. So that's a lot of challenges we see for blockchain based or blockchain compatible games. Adam, do you have a take on this?
Yes. Yeah. Actually, I will share my
Go ahead. You can.
myriad experience, right? So,
Nice. Nice.
which one? This one, right?
Yeah. Go ahead.
All right.
There's a kitty up there. I
Yes,
see.
this is a new game called Stray. It's a
Straight.
game
Yes,
where you
I've seen
become
the
a cat.
playthrough. I've seen the
Yes.
playthrough because I love cats. I'm not a gamer per se, but I like cats. So
Yes.
YouTube recommended this to me. And
Yes.
is you a cat during the apocalypse, right?
Yes. You need to play this game. It's very
Oh,
cute.
I want
The reaction of this kitty.
Danny. It's like the reviewer that was like reviewing the game, the video that
Oh.
was recommended to me. He said it's like Assassin's Creed but with four legs.
Yeah.
Oh, so cute.
Yeah. You need to try it. Everyone, download the game. It's very nice. Yeah,
Okay.
so basically regarding the play to earn, yesterday I just had a meeting. So this meeting, right? I met with a lot of developers in Indonesia that developing Web3 games. This is from Mythic Protocol. This is Arif. He's creating blockchain game, an action RPG. It's very very nice. You can look
Wow.
at it.
Oh,
Mythic Protocol, and this one is Kevin. He's developing Avarik Saga. They're making GRPG using NFTs,
oh.
and a lot of
Okay.
these guys is working on Web3 too in a lot of areas. And the topic that you mentioned, Mas Dani, is something that we discussed a lot last night regarding the play to earn, right? A lot of developers try to come into the space creating blockchain games inspired by Axie Infinity, right? The success story of them creating a game where the players also can earn money. That's where the term play to earn become popular, right? But the thing is, uh, all of the developers that I met last night, they all agree that that model is not sustainable, right?
Hmm.
The play to earn where the earning side is based on who's coming next, who's joining, more people
It's a
joining means
Ponzi. It's a
yes,
Ponzi.
it's
Yeah.
like a Ponzi scheme, right? That's why what we both agree, the term play to earns need to change. We need to create something like that's now play to collect, play to own. The using NFT and blockchain as a part of like adding value for a game, right? There's some people who plays to earn, even though without the Web3, like someone who play Ragnarok, someone who play with Mobile Legends, they upgrading the character and then they sold the character. That's already play to earn, right? Play to earn to be able to work uh need to balance with the player who play just for fun, because usually the earning that they get is from the people who play for funds but don't have the time to do that, and they paying someone to do like leveling this character, finding the rare item, and then buff everything. So the good thing is like we are going to see more and more projects that's gonna include more fun ways in terms of using blockchain into their game. So yeah, I think the future is bright.
That's very good. That's very good. And I think there is a very important keyword that you say is like add value to the game. Well, that's more than one keyword, but this is blockchain is a technology, and as a technology, it has its pros, it has its cons. But what aspect of blockchain can be used to add value to the game, to solve problems, or to create new ways of interacting? And in the last episode, I already evoked ownership, for instance, of accounts, of characters, community participation for everything that's cosmetic. For I mean, I know that the modding scene is sometimes adverse, to paying mods, for instance. But being able to own your mod as its creator and receive, receive money from the mod you've programmed, you've developed yourself on your own time.
Hmm.
It could even be, it could even be something that's optional. You could have the free version and the NFT version that are the same, but it's always cool to have more ways to support developers, to support modders, as even especially the smaller ones.
Yeah. I think what crypto enables is not just from the gamer perspective, but also from the creator perspective. It enables us to create new things for other people to enjoy, and actually get get value from it. Like get I don't want to say monetize. It sounds like, like monetize is now has a really bad rap. But you know what I mean. Like I okay, the one game I play right now is Animal Crossing. You guys know that, right? Okay, so I've seen a lot of cool islands. Like, and this is not even mods. This is within the confines of the game. But they have like an editing mechanism for each island, and you can create like really cool islands. I saw this one island. I got it from the forums, and basically it's a role playing island. They turned it into a game. So they're like story is childish, but like it's funny. There's Godzilla's attacking. So there's one item which is like a large Godzilla looking thing in the middle of the island. And the only way to defeat Godzilla is to gather 5 stars from all over the island. And there are like multiple puzzles. Like you need to, if you, and this is a dream address. Like it's not the only way you can get there is through a dream address, which means like, in Animal Crossing, you don't have items when you start the playthrough. So you need to gather items, get items to get another item, to be able to jump over to another island, another piece of the island, and then get the items and then gather them, and then like you get like 1 million bells at the end. Like if you manage to do it, it's really cool. Like it's not it's a game on top of a game, and this actually. Sorry to go back to metaverse stuff, but like this actually happened a lot during Second Life. Like Second Life still exists, but like during my time in Second Life, I should say, this happened a lot in Second Life. Second Life actually didn't have like, of course, it's not a game; it's a metaverse. It didn't have a death mechanism, but it does have a teleport mechanism, right? So if you die, you get teleported off the parcel. That's it. You get kicked basically. But yeah, and then there's like and there's objects within like Second Life that you can use to like shoot people. and these are not NFTs. This is like way before NFTs, but like these are objects that that you can code. Like the coding is within the actual objects. To like if you point at someone and then click shoot with the heads up display, then that other person dies. Like or the like like uh,
Yeah,
the health is reduced or whatever, and then like when the health hits zero, you die. So there's a ton of stuff. I think what and this has always been around, right? Emergent play. That's what we
emergent
call it,
gameplay. Yeah, yeah.
emergent gameplay. But the cool thing about crypto, if we create a platform that allows emergent gameplay and allows not just emergent gameplay, but allows emergent game creators, like the people who create games on top of these platforms, to monetize, then that's sort of like the holy grail, right? Like you're this is sort of why metaverses such as the sandbox, for example, is sort of like something that's like it's become like sort of a VC darling. I don't know currently, but like last year there was a lot of investment. And Atari invested in them, I think. It's like
Yeah, but then again, it's Atari.
yeah, they're Atari, but okay. The
Sorry.
but the point is like we're trying to sort of like they're doing it in a way that is more explicit, like create a game on top of us, and you can build any game on top of us with your game maker. Okay, right, but like I'm more interested in ways where emergent gameplay can be monetized, whether modding or like just as simple as changing your avatar, making your current game into a steampunk game, even though it's a cyberpunk game or whatever.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I think there is and maybe Adam can add on the top of this, but there is also a huge avenue for mobile games because right now we see a lot of free-to-play mobile games, massively multiplayer, right? Which are addressed to whales. So basically, all the Clash of Clan, Clash of whatever, or whatever of clan. I mean, like there are a dime a dozen basically. It's basically simple, repetitive gameplay that's pretty often copy pasted and tweaked a little. So you gather characters, you upgrade your characters, you make them fight. Sometimes you make them keep your fort, and you have invasion. Sometimes not. Sometimes you have a map. Sometimes not. But the gameplay loop is very similar in any case. It's your characters versus the other guy's character, and you have 25,000 different buckets with 25,000 different currencies. So you need all of the currencies to have like these specific items, so it keeps you grinding. And of course, this is addressed to whales because you get the gems or the diamonds and the rubies, or like the main currency. You can buy it, right? And you can buy it to go faster, to upgrade faster, to move faster on the map, or all these kind of things. But if you look at the game in from if you take an helicopter view, you will realize that actually it's extremely clever because the free players, right? They grind and they get organized in guilds and they chat a lot and all that, but they still can get wrecked by whales. And the free players are basically NPCs for the whales. And you have yeah, right. So it's a very tough actually concept to keep when you do free to play and non-free to play. Is like, do not separate your player base. It's very important to keep your player base mixed. And I think that this is actually a separation of the player base, which is subtle, but it's there, But with people being able to create game in the game, right? And I'm taking like a simple game at a la Animal Crossing. You'll have designers and you'll have people who buy the designs.
Animal Crossing
And-
is not simple.
They are,
Never
yeah. But if you have these two, if you have these two groups there, right?
in any game I've ever.
Yeah, it is simple, but it's fun, and you will have these two groups
It's more
interacting.
Danny. Animal Crossing is more complicated than any game I've ever played in my life. It's more complicated than fucking Rimworld. kidding. I play RimWorld too, right?
Yeah.
More complicated than RimWorld. I'm telling you. Seriously.
Interesting. But like in any case, I mean, like if you have these two player base, right, the creators and the consumer that interact in the same spot, and they can actually benefit from each other, create
Mm.
an actual ecosystem. I think there is something there that could emerge in the mobile gaming category, and
Mm.
I think beyond the Ponzi scheme and the play to earn and everything and the bad NFT bad and whatever that's on the internet, that's also something that prevent those games for getting into app stores, because that it offers an alternative to the closed garden, that is like the Google Play App Store and the Apple App Store and everything. Like it gets monetization away from the store itself. So what do you think, Adam?
Yes, I agree with you that there's a use case where, like you mentioned, there's gonna be closer relationship between the developers and the creators or gamers, right, inside of the game, between the one who wants to try to earn something and the ones who want to play just for fun. And I think in the future, when everything is already matured, it's gonna happen. And but I think the thing that really interesting right now is like the beauty of video game is like the genre is very huge, right? It's very diverse, a lot of genre, a lot of things. And the use case that we see right now is like people using blockchain and choose to utilize NFT as the part of like adding experience into the game, right? You can own something, you can sell something, and everything like that. But you also mentioned, right? There's a lot of negative image regarding the NFT. Now, the thing that I really like to see in the future is like the innovation of using blockchain technology inside a game that can only happen inside of blockchain. For
Mm.
example, if we're talking about the creator economy, this is already happened in Minecraft, right? Even though the ownership is not yours, like it's centralized, but you can
Mm.
already create something and sell something. In Roblox, that's already happened, right? You can create
Yeah.
experience and people do something experience. But I think the possibility in blockchain is it's more than that. If you creative and you innovative, you can create something more. And I want to introduce you to some tweet that I think it's gonna be really interesting.
Please show.
Uh, this guy is Lars. He's a famous person in the game industry, a
Oh,
famous, you know.
okay.
All
Okay.
right. He wrote he deconstruct a design for a game, like the core loop of the game, the mechanic of the game, and
Mm.
he's very pragmatic about the blockchain. Like he's not interested if someone create a game that only using NFT as ownership or something like that. He keeps looking and looking for someone who really can create a game using blockchain that cannot be substituted with centralized. And I think I forgot when he tweeted it, but he finally found, because before he kept roasting the games, every NFT game, because it's just like just no
Mm.
innovation over there, just like a common use of NFT, something like that. And he finally saw these games. It's called Dark Forest. You can search on their website zkga.me and you can read about the game. But basically, this is a real-time strategy where they're using. I'm not sure. I don't think this is for everyone. The game, because this is real-time strategy, and the concept is like you don't get all the information about the world, what happening inside the world, but the action that you do over there, it only can be happen if you use smart contract. And this is one of the kind of games that I'm looking forward in the future. People who use blockchain, who use smart contract to really embed that into their core mechanic, just not something just for like NFT, like avatars, ownership, something like that. But truly, the gameplay is something that you use the cryptographic technology, you use the smart contract, you use everything that is enabling uh, become enabled by blockchain, you can put it into a game mechanic. I think that's where the blockchain game become really, really fun.
See, it looks like to me from a quick glance, it looks like a real-time moving version of Battleship.
Yes.
So they're using zero knowledge narcs to actually hide the position of
Yes.
the ships, but you can still know the shape of the path they take. That's it. Wow,
It's called like incomplete information games. So you don't have full information about the state of the world that you come in, the planet that you come in, and then you can do a lot of things. And the physics inside of planet, it's encrypted into some cryptographic smart contracts. So it's fun. It cannot be done if you don't use blockchain. And this is something that I'm really looking forward in the future.
Okay, but like let's say at this point, if it's fully blockchainified, right? What do you think? What would be the best technology to actually integrate something like that to scale?
Yes, scale. I think right now they're building. I'm sure they're using Ethereum, if I'm not mistaken. Let me check. Yeah, but if they're using Ethereum, I think the scaling is still a problem. But if they're using something in the proof of stake or something like that, that's gonna be easier, I think.
Well, even proof of stake, like I'm gonna play this thing. I'm definitely gonna give it a try. But like I see like every application now on Web3, you know, when you make a specific action, every time you confirm something that needs to be sent to the blockchain, there is a confirmation that happens. And I'm wondering like how it comes in play during the gameplay. Do they save your password for 15 minutes like the Polkadot.js extension do or something? And I'm not too worried about the number of transactions per second, to be honest. But I'm more.
Hello.
Hello, welcome back, Pandu.
Welcome back.
Down out. But I wanted to tell you guys that I've read about this game. So first of all, the Dark Forest, right? So Dark Forest, of course, came from Three Body Problem, but it was adopted by the Ethereum community. Also, like before this game actually appeared, it was already adopted by the Ethereum community. That phrase, that phrase, the two-word phrase of Dark Forest, basically like everything is player versus player. If it's like the world is player versus player, it's a dark forest. The world is dark forest. The Ethereum world is a dark forest. And I've read about this, and it's super cool because it's a game that is not built for making money. It's very different. Like a lot of the like that's I keep like honestly, I've seen a lot of projects out there, like even projects from my friends. Sorry, you know who you are, that are just yield generators, total yield generators, without any fun gameplay. And you just I don't know, it's just like there's this analogy. There's someone I forgot who on Twitter made this analogy. Gamify currently is just like pressing buttons to get money. But the pressing buttons part become more and more complicated. But it's basically just pressing buttons to get money, and that's not the way you should create these things. That's
Absolutely.
It's, first and foremost, it's a game. It's also the same as in the metaverse that we're creating, right? Realitychain. If we wanted to, we can start Realitychain by having like a full yield generator inside. Like I don't know, you need to have parcels to create like to get near tokens or whatever. That we've never thought of that. We've never even thought of that. We didn't want to do that. Or stake your I don't know your parcels to get tokens, for example. We didn't do that. What we did was the reverse. You stake your tokens to get a parcel on top of it. Right? And that is I think I mean Dark Forest is amazing. because you do sell like okay, so can you still make money? Of course you can make money because it's an item, like through itemization of things. Tokenization at its base is making digital objects into something that is similar to a real object, right? Something that you can copy. So you can sell on dark powers, you can sell your spawn location, for example. I found this really cool spawn location. Okay, this is mine. Okay, this is my place. This is my spot. I happen to found it. The spawning is awesome. Okay, I'm gonna sell it as a spawn point. You can sell maps of a certain area. I haven't played the game, FYI. I just read from Twitter and all of these like comments, but like I what I've heard is that you can sell maps. Like, okay, this place is Dark Forest, right? I don't know where it's like. I don't know how where to go. So what is precious for that? The fucking map, right?
Yeah.
I mean, just going back to the real world. If you're dropped inside a dark forest with no like, this is a space exploration game, by the way. It's not really a forest, but like, you know what I mean. Like, if you're dropped inside a dark forest and you need to find a way out, a map would be very very precious.
And a flashlight, please.
Yes, and of course, like this, get this. This is user to user. This is not sold by the game company. No, it's sold by the community and the user to user. It's amazing. I that's why I was reading before, my electrical failure.
Yeah, and it doesn't turn anyone into a huge crowd of NPCs. This is also what's important, I think, in this game.
Yeah.
That's a pretty awesome idea.
Yeah, I really want to try it. It's on XDAI. So it's
Oh,
yeah. You
it's
have
fast and cheap.
a project in XDAI. You used to have a project in XDAI.
Yeah,
Daniel.
yeah.
Yeah, I made
Have used to maybe. So in any case, yeah, something I wanted to say about this is like I kind of lost my line here. So basically, what you do here when you sell your map, for instance, is like you actually monetize on the time you have invested in the game.
True.
Something that I thoroughly dislike is if you acquire and level up the sword of complete oblivion, which is the most powerful item in the game, and then someone can just buy it and be the best at the game by buying it. It removes everything that makes the game interesting or interactive. Or a game is about overcoming limitations. You have a limitation, a rule set, and you need to get better in order to navigate this rule set the best you can, right? So if you just pay, that's pay to win. Everybody knows the term by now. But if you have this kind of activities where you actually can monetize on time spent, and you offer I'm gonna say like facilities, not a safe, sure way to win the game, right? But it's like, okay, I have played the game, I have invested my time in it. Now I want to either resell my account, resell my game to a player that maybe has lost their save, or want to restart at a higher level or something like that. It doesn't mean they're gonna win because they don't have your skills, right? With my imaginary sword of oblivion, you just go back, and they're dead, and whatever, right? But there you can actually capitalize on your time spent, and there is still this community aspect of, okay, I'm driving away from this aspect of the game, or I am willing to let go this amount of time I have spent doing a specific task in the game, and let you have it for a price, of course. But it reminds me, and it's something I'm very nostalgic about, of the used game market, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah. If I don't actually have any of my old game consoles, because I gave them all to when I moved, or when I had a better one, I gave the older one to someone who needed it, or sometimes I sold a couple of games for cheap, right? So if I sold two, I could buy one or something like that. I think a lot of us have been there. And this community aspect that, for instance, allowed me to have a PlayStation 2 and a lot of games where I was actually super broke, for instance. This is something that's, I'm not gonna say that it's lost, because gamers are still a huge community and there is still a lot of very wholesome stuff happening on this side of the web. But something went away when the used game market went away. Something went away when
Yeah, it's
everything got
Yeah.
digitized. Yeah, and that thing, like starting with this game and continuing with metaverses and blockchain, it is on the way to bring back this physical, semi-physical interactions of, hey, here I have a cool stuff for you. You know, you can have it for free. I can send it to you,
Mm.
or you can have it for cheap, or even, hey, I have a really really cool stuff, but it's gonna be expensive. Do you like this game enough to invest in it? You know?
Yeah. I can I have make also like an old school analogy?
Oh, go
Um,
ahead.
maybe Ragnarok Online.
Ragnarok Online.
Something like
Ragnarok.
that. Oh, you didn't play it then. You probably didn't come into. Probably you were in France, probably.
I was in France, but I played on some private servers a couple of times.
Okay. All right. So it was huge in Indonesia, right? Like
Mm.
it's huge in some parts of the world. It's probably not huge everywhere. Yeah, you need to sort of like grind, right? Like you needed to grind. And grinding was actually something that is easily bottable. Like you can create bots that just kill
Yeah.
squirrel, and yeah, you get money out of it. And like people were running like huge mines of like, well, not mines, but like huge bot farms. Um, and that is because like honestly, Ragnarok in some cases can be play to win. Like you can basically just, and especially since the items were like, even though not officially, but like the items were tradable. You can buy items, or you can buy
Yeah.
avatars, and you can buy like Ragnarok money or whatever. Now, so bots happened, and bots were actually sort of like breaking the game. But on Second Life, it was totally different. Bots were everywhere, but everyone loved bots because the bots were used as NPCs. Like if I
Yeah.
wanted to run my own bot, that just I had a museum in Second Life. I can have a receptionist for my little museum, and that receptionist just walks around, meets people. Hi, welcome to the museum. Blah blah blah. So this is funny because like actually Second Life did have like mechanisms of purchase, some consumerism, but they're mostly things that are they're not game breaking because it's not a game, it's a metaverse, it's life, right? You can buy stuff that probably gives you an edge in like one of the sub games that someone creates, but so what, like that's not the only thing in town. Like there are multiple ways to actually enjoy Second Life. So botting was actually part of like a burgeoning community. There's like even like simple, like you can basically just run a bot on your computer very easily. Like you can run several bots even with an application, which was on the Second Life page. Like you can you
Yeah.
can you can already do that. Like I was I think it was a forum page, but like still it's on the Second Life. It wasn't deleted out of the forums. I think now the crypto community and the crypto gaming community and the crypto gaming developer community are finding these things again, rediscovering these things again. And sometimes they bring it back to what a lot of them are very familiar with, like the crypto guys, they're familiar with uh, a certain game, right? This game. You see my screen? Okay, solely buying some coin, send it to an exchange, and bet on going up and down against other players.
I think a lot of people have played this game.
Yeah, we have the game mode where you do it all with uncollateralized loans. So
Nice.
many of them are traders, is my point, right?
Mm.
They started as traders. They didn't start as game developers. They didn't start as like metaverse people. And they're more familiar with yield. They're more familiar with that, which is early game are all just like baseless yield, uncollateralized yields, basically.
Yeah, and there's something that's very important there. When you make this analogy with this game, this trading game, the definition of a game is that it doesn't have consequences besides its own rule set, outside of its own rule set. If we play checkers, you and I, unless we bet, right? But this is a rule that we add, on the top of it. Unless we bet, whether I win or lose a checker, it doesn't influence my life. I'm not gonna get poor for it. Not gonna get hurt or anything. It's not like or anything, right? But yeah, and I think this is a very important aspect of the future blockchain games. That if you suck at the game, you still can enjoy it.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
You don't lose your money. It's not like even line is a job, okay?
So the point is, if you fail, you don't lose your shirt. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's I think it's very important. You can be the most beautiful avatar you've ever seen because you've bought all of your dresses from a graphic designer who does a fantastic job and anything, but it's not gonna get you up in ranks. Or you can have a map that helps you navigate better, but let's say if you get stuck or if you lose your map, you won't lose your ship or all your investment in the game or something like that, and
Yep.
this is something that scares me with blockchain games and so on and so forth. You actually can lose money, and more money that you actually wanted to. Like, you lose money when you buy a game because you buy the game, but it's once.
I feel that one other thing that that is sort of like the issue of, and this is like probably a closing statement because like it's almost an hour. It's already an hour. But like I think the world runs on one system. The games always run on a different system. As in like we run like our economy, a real world economy is capitalistic, right? The richer whales get more power, which is fine. Like that's the real world. All right. That's just real life. But when you enter a game, you start on an even playing field. That's not the
Yep.
case for a lot of blockchain games, and that's not good because that means the people who are winning, the people who are getting an advantage, are not the people who have the skills, or not even people who enjoy the game that much, right?
Yep.
So yeah, I'm pretty much in agreement with you, Danny, in this case, even though I'm a headstrong capitalist who
Yeah, but even capitalists have to have fun sometimes, right?
like it's no longer fun. If
Yeah.
you're fucking rich and you're in the game and you are also fucking rich in the game, there's no drama. There's no conflict.
Yeah.
Right?
Adam, any statement on that? And then we'll end the session, but because yeah, it's been long already.
Yes. I agree. As a game developer myself, I really keen to see people really innovating the blockchain to adding more value into the gameplay, deeper into the mechanics, not just like a cash grabbing mechanism, not just like usual like this is to own something. I think when this happen, when we find the killers games that using blockchain technology as a value for the user, for the player, I think this is gonna change the whole landscape, the whole negative sentiment that we saw. I think this is gonna change, and it can only be changed by people who believe that blockchain can adding more value, and the people who keeps innovating and keeps building.
Fantastic, mate. All right, so today we talked about blockchain games, and then about blockchain games we stayed on topic. My God, this is a first. Well, you'll see us next week, and waiting for that, well, have a great rest of your day. Goodbye.
See you, everyone.
See you again. Bye bye.
Stop recording.